We want to show that 1 minus I cubed, 1 plus I cubed, all over 2 plus 2i simplifies to 2 minus 2i. Now I know this is a calculator paper, but there's 3 marks here, so we can't just put this in the calculator. You can only do that for 2 marks or less. So we must actually show some working. Now expanding 1 minus I all cubed and 1 plus I all cubed could be quite a bit of work, but there's a shortcut here, in that we can make this into 1 minus I, 1 plus I, all cubed, over 2 plus 2i. Here we have a difference of 2 squares, so that's going to be 1 minus I squared. And of course I squared is negative 1, so that just becomes 2. So what we have is 2 cubed over 2 plus 2i. We could write that as 2 cubed over twice 1 plus I, and then cancel a 2. So we have 4 over 1 plus I. So that's 4, 1 minus I, over 1 plus I, 1 minus I, which gives us 4 minus 4i divided by 2, which is 2 minus 2i, as required. We have the sequence I squared, I cubed, I to the 4, I to the 5, and so on, and we want to rewrite the first 7 terms of the sequence with simplified terms. Well, the first term is I. I squared, remember the definition of I is that it's the square root of negative 1. So if we square I, we're just going to get negative 1. And then for I cubed, that's going to be I squared times I. So that's negative 1 times I, which is just negative I. So this one is negative I. And then however you want to look at I4, we could look at it as I squared times I squared. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And then it just starts to repeat itself. So we get I, negative 1, negative I, and it will carry on like that. Show how to use the pattern to determine I83. Now we're supposed to use the pattern, so what we can't do is just bring in the calculator, and we'll just clear anything that's there and change ourselves into complex mode. Indeed, we're in complex mode already, and then we just need to find the correct I. Here it is. And we'll just put that to the power 83, and it gives us negative I. So we're not allowed to just do that for the 2 marks because it does say show how to use the pattern. So what you should notice here is that every 4th one is going to be 1. So we can say I to the 4n is always going to be equal to 1 if n is a natural number. So that means that I to the 4n plus 1 would be equal to I, because that's the next one after 1. I to the 4n plus 2 is going to be negative 1. I to the 4n plus 3 is negative I. And if we have n equals 20, that's I to the 4 times 20, add 3, so it's one of these ones, which is negative I. Now you didn't need to get as technical as I have here, you just needed to show that you were using the pattern.